Yeah, you know, sometimes a single play can change momentum. You know, I feel like we left Osman on that backside when we were making a run, and I forget what the exact score was right there, but we felt like we had him on the ropes and he hadn't scored in a while, and you know that sort of broke the run, and you know then we had a couple empty possessions, and they scored 3 or 4 straight times, broke the game back open.
Curious with Devin, was he on a minute restriction going in?
No, just a range, you know, and we kept it around the range, slightly higher.
Curious what you thought of his play today.
Oh, he's incredible. I mean, it took a little bit to get going, which is expected. You know, hasn't played for you know in I think 9 days or so. But what a second half! He's a spectacular player, and you know willed us back into the game.
Last thing I had was defensively, you wanted to be more physical. It didn't feel like that was the case tonight. Is that did you see it the same way in terms of the physicality?
Yes.
Coach, in that first half, it felt like they were getting a lot of what they wanted offensively. What did you see in terms of the defense that wasn't up to par?
Yeah, we just weren't close enough to shooters. You know, I mean, we had some breakdowns, the left shooters on the backside, but you know, general closeouts, guys were pulling threes on their own man, and you know, give them credit. They shot the heck out of the basketball, especially in the first half.
Cato went from not in the rotation to closing the game tonight. What did you see from him that made you feel comfortable that he could be out there in those moments?
More length on the perimeter. You know, Victor's a problem on the other side there, and you know, we just wanted more length defensively, and the fact that he's a 39% shooter last year, you know, felt like we could pull him away from the basket too. Victor.
What do you think caused the problem with the points in the paint? I think there was, 58 to 44, and also the transition points seemed to be.
Yeah, well, turnovers in the first half were a problem. Credit the Spurs and their length. They got an extremely long team and, you know, forced a lot of them. But, you know, we're still too sloppy with the basketball, you know, and until we correct that, you know, we're not going to find ourselves in the win column. You know, that's the transition. And then the points in the paint, you know, they were shooting the heck out of the three-point line, really spreading us out and opening things up for them.
Coach, just how did you see Wembanyama work through all the different coverages and lineups you were trying on him in this first?
Yeah, his best game yet. You know, and he, you know, he can beat you in a number of different ways, and we got to do a better job on him.
How did you like the lineup with KD at the 5 that he was able to throw out there in the fourth?
Yeah, it's something we can go to. You know, it's not perfect, but you know, it's something we can change the game with, which is what we're trying to do, and you know, there's some positives to it.
Coach, what led you to not starting Josh in the second half?
Well, Wemby was just roaming around the basket, and we put Yuta out there, you know, to either make him pay or to draw him away from the basket.
Coach, how tough is it to have such good offensive nights in a row and to fall in both of those games?
Yeah, it's not easy losing in this league. It's not fun, but you know, it's early in the season, and you know, we'll keep building.
Thanks, Coach.
Devin, you've been out for a minute. How did it feel to be back out on the floor?
Really good. You know, it always sucks to be out, and you know, I checked all those boxes to be able to go out there and go, and you know, I love being out there.
Curious as far as the rhythm. Obviously, you didn't have it early, and trying to catch that second win. But once you got that, it seemed like you was off to the races. But how did it feel once you sat down for a minute and came back out there?
I mean, I was undecided going into the day. You know, I needed my court time to see if I was actually going to play or not, and you know, that process of checking all those boxes and then bringing a minute restriction on that didn't last very long, but you know, there's just a lot of extra variables that go into it other than a regular game day. But you know, that's the flow of the game. I knew I'd find it. I think none of us had it in the first half, and you know, we came out and fought the second half, and now we're going to try to put two halves together so we can have a complete game.
You've been watching, obviously, from the bench defensively. It hasn't been there. What's not working on that end?
I say communication. You know, that's always the easy answer, and it, you know, sounds like it's not important, but you know, I think the best teams have all 5 guys and bench including, coaches including, all talking to each other and on the same page. a lot of communication trumps the gray areas where, you know, people are in between and hesitant on what they're supposed to do. Even if you're saying the wrong thing out there, at least, you know, everybody knows what's going on.
Last thing I had was obviously Wembanyama. You saw him the first game and then played against him at a career high night. What do you think of him tonight?
He's unbelievable talent. You know, I think everybody knows that. And just trying to figure out what he is because we've never seen him before. You know, so we got him early in the season. You know, hopefully next time we play him, we can make some adjustments to make it tougher on him. But, you know, he has an advantage being 7'4" and being able to shoot over everybody. So just finding different ways to make it tough on him. But he had a hell of a night.
To your point, Book, you tried a lot of different things. There was that switch where you fronted him twice well, but that third time he just got around. What are the challenges that he presents schematically with his skill set and size?
Just hasn't been seen before. You know, a lot of those possessions, Trey Jones does a good job of finding them in transition. Everybody knows if he goes for a block shot, he's going to go seal somebody down, and it's usually a mismatch on the other end, no matter if it's his matchup. Just throw it to the rim, and he got a lot of fouls in the paint tonight. So keeping teams off the free throw line and, you know, just making it tough, make them score over you, and, you know, staying away from the whistle always helps.
Seems as though, like, at the 2-minute mark left in the third period, you hit a jumper, then you passed it out to KG and a three-pointer. It seems as though at that point you guys got over the hump, the energy was back. What was it that finally clicked offensively and defensively that got you guys back in the rhythm?
It always starts with our defense. You know, when we're taking the ball out the net, every time down the floor, it slows down our defense. We have to get in some sort of multiple action offense when, you know, we'd rather just get a stop, you know, have numbers in transition and, you know, use our speed and athleticism to our advantage.
35 minutes, your first game back. How you feeling physically?
I feel good.
Do you expect to play both this weekend?
Every game I'm healthy.
Obviously, you missing some games, Brad missing some games, a lot of new faces. There's an adjustment period that comes with all of that. I don't want to use the word anxiety, but is there a certain, like, eagerness to get things going and get everybody whole?
I mean, I'm in year 9 now, and, you know, just understanding, you know, what the beginning of the season is, and, you know, I'm not saying it's not important. I think getting off to a good start is very important, and it definitely helps you on the back end of the season, especially how it comes into play in tournaments and seeding and home court advantage. But, you know, we still do have things to learn. You know, I said it on I think it was TNT or ESPN last game that, you know, we have really talented players that haven't been in the rotation that, you know, might get opportunity with Brad out. And I think Coach tried a few different lineups tonight. So that's part of it. But, you know, back to communication. If we're all on the same page talking, we'll be in pretty good shape.
In your previous experience, how much can these first cross-country road trips of the season kind of help the team come together early in the year?
I like getting on the road. You know, I like being road warriors and going to steal, you know, wins in other people's home arena. You know, you leave your families, you leave your comfort space, and now all you got is each other. And, you know, I think that's great for team building. But NBA always gives us an early game when we fly east. I don't know what that's about. So it was 12 or 1 every time we get over there. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, yeah. So rest and recovery.
But going back to that communication, I think it was in the second quarter going into the timeout, I saw you and Nurk talking and looking at some video. Is that just kind of the expectation that there's going to be some of figuring each other out for a while?
I mean, I wouldn't say a while. Hopefully sooner than later. But, you know, the more you talk, the quicker you figure it out. You know, and everything's collaborative. It's not one right answer. You got to be open to, you know, to hearing people out if you want to, you know, be the voice all the time too. So, you know, I trust Nurk. He has a very high IQ for the game, and, you know, we can have those high-level conversations that are important to winning.
How much are you just seeing the floor now? Not that you hadn't seen it before, but you get what I'm saying? Like, you're making passes to the corner off of penetration. I mean, dudes are wide open, but you're still finding them. So I'm curious, how much better are you seeing the floor now?
You got to tell me. You've been here a long time. I got better at it? Could I never throw it to the corner?
No, you do. I'm just saying the defense is surrounding you, like the vision isn't
Yeah.
there once you get in. And you find it.
Yeah, I just, you know, I want to word it like it's a pretty simple game if it's played right and spacing's right. And we have that, and, You know, we have knockdown shooters that, you know, give the ability to space the floor, that, you know, open up wide open roles for the big sometimes. So, you know, you're never reading your man, and usually not even reading the, you know, the big man when he gets screened. It's just, you know, the backside.
Yeah.
Enough, maybe just what was going on defensively tonight that you guys coming up short?
The first quarter, we got down 39-20. They hit 8 threes in the first quarter. That was the game.
I've heard a lot of times people compare Victor Wembanyama to you if you were like 6 inches taller or something like that. Do you see that in his game? What do you think about the way he plays?
I don't see anybody else in this game. I mean, I know we both skinny, and I'm sure he said he watched me growing up, but he's his own player. I don't think I'm sure he watched so many great players in the league and try to emulate just about everybody. You could tell in his enthusiasm for the game. You know, you could tell that through the TV and playing against them. So he's his own player, person. He's gonna create his own lane. Is much different than anybody who's ever played, and you could try to compare, but he's gonna carve out his own lane.
Coach was talking about that the next time y'all play him, you got to do obviously something to try to slow him down a little more. What not you just personally, but the team, like what do you think needs to be done to slow him down?
Yeah, I think he got at least 18 points off of like fast break layups, and then we switch in and he just being big in the paint over top of guys catching lobs. Like they played a great team game. You know, he hit some threes there at the end, but for the most part, he didn't dribble much. He didn't, you know, how many turnovers he had? 2 turnovers for the game. He usually had 4 or 5. So, you know, he just catch and shoot, catch and finish. Just kept the game simple, and you see what he did tonight.
And the hesitation with doubling him is just he can see over everything already, right?
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't scoring in the post, killing us in the post, per se. I mean, he's just killing us from, like, that toss it up in the middle of the paint. He's 7'5". He going to just finish over top of our smalls and catch and shoots. You know, he's tough, man. He's tough with that size and that shooting touch. So, like I said, he didn't do much handling the ball or one-on-one action or posting us up. He just kept the game simple, and that's what great players do.
Kevin, was
Yeah,
there
to your
anything-
point, does that kind of speak on how special of a talent he is, that he didn't feel like he was within like the primary option of the offense, and yet he had 38 tonight?
Yeah, I mean, they got first of all, they got length, and they got great players over there. I mean, they got young players that are going to have long careers in this league, and tonight they were looking for him. I seen him in transition. Trey Jones was 10 assists. He was looking for him tonight. Keldon was looking for him down there in the post when they switched. So they made it an emphasis to exploit his size against our smalls and you know, get a few easy buckets there in the paint, and it paid off. He was able to hit a 3 at the end, you know, because he seen the ball go through the rim, got a couple free throws, you know. So, you know, he's a tough player.
What'd you see from Book coming back?
Same old Book. Look faster, stronger, look better than he did game 1, to be honest. And that's just from the hard work he's put in, rehabbing his injury. And, you know, so he looked great tonight, and we're going to have to build on it. 31, 13 assists, 9 rebounds, like controlling the game at that point guard position.
Still really early in the season, obviously a lot of new guys to incorporate and whatnot, but what's coming off 2 tough losses like that, what is the frustration level of kind of working through that?
We're not frustrated, you know. Losses happen in this league. It's still early, like you said. I mean, I know we want to win every game. I know we know our fan base want to win every game, and but you know, keep grinding, keep moving on, move on to the next one. We got a 3-game road trip, and try to lock in and do our best to come back home with some wins.
Kevin, you had just mentioned how Coach trying to find different lineups, and Keelan got his shot today. How big was that for him? The guy who hadn't hardly played at all to do what he did tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it's true pro. You know, somebody that's just been waiting for his number to be called, and came out and made some huge plays for us. And it's only going to help with his confidence. So I'm excited for Kata, and hopefully that leads to more minutes for him.
Kevin, you guys tied up the game there late, and then the Spurs went on a 10-0 run. What can you attribute to them?
They made shots, man. I think when we tied it up, they got a foul. Victor might have missed the first one. He made the second one.
I don't know what happened on our other end, but then Chetty Osman hit a three. That kind of broke us a little bit when he hit that corner three because it broke everybody in the building, to be honest, because we were on a nice little run and he was able to get free. And they were making shots tonight, man. I mean, 8 threes in the first quarter. Like, they started off hot. And I think, when you up 19-20 and we fighting uphill, every shot you shoot with confidence now, so you got to give him credit.
Kevin's the ball is being dribbled out